The clock is winding down now on this year's legislative session, but before it wraps up, lawmakers have a big job. They still have to pass a new 2-year budget. And yesterday, they got some news that's making that job a whole lot harder. Emily Longnecker is here to explain. Emily.
Lawmakers on the State Budget Committee got the April revenue forecast, and it wasn't a sunny one. They found out that the state is expected to bring in $2 billion less in revenue over the next 2 years than was originally expected. So it is back to the drawing board to figure out a new budget in the final days of the session.
And this is why they do a revenue forecast before they enter into the final conference committee portion of the budget session, is to determine, if they need to pivot.
So what will that pivot look like?
I don't think everything's on the table. But there have been conversations in this building for a while on things like the cigarette tax.
Republican House Speaker Todd Houston says significant public policy moves like legalizing cannabis in any form to raise revenue won't happen. But lawmakers could look at raising taxes on other items like cigarettes. The House has supported that in previous budget cycles. The Senate has not. One line item Houston wants to see protected: K-12 funding and an expansion of school vouchers.
It's been a priority issue for our caucus, and I believe it's a high priority for the Governor Braun, so we'll continue to have that conversation.
School voucher expansion wasn't part of the Senate's budget proposal, even without the new revenue forecast. So what about now?
So the idea of having vouchers is certainly a viable option, but we're going to have to figure out how to pay for it if that's the case.
Senate Democrats don't agree with school voucher expansion. They also want to pause the reduction of the state's income tax and look at legalizing cannabis to bring in revenue. When it comes to what to cut,
the Secretary of State had an increase. The governor's office had an increase. The lieutenant governor's office had an increase. And maybe we start there.
Both sides say they're looking at everything.
That phrase about everything being on the table probably is appropriate at this time.
And lawmakers are off tomorrow for the Easter holiday. Republican leadership, though, is expected to work through the weekend so they can have a new budget proposal to present to members sometime early next week. That's what they're hoping. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.